You are now tuned in to Two Studs in a Pod with your host Blaze and Meech, a podcast with a novel perspective on life from a couple of super terrific Uber dykes that you can call us studs. Now let's get to it. Meech, drop that beat. Welcome back, peeps. You already know it's me, Blaze.
And me, Meech.
And we're a duo of everyday studs here to permeate your vibe with knowledge and nonsense of the stud kind, one episode at a time. All right, a new week. Are we feeling? How are we feeling? It's Pride. Are we feeling joyous?
Yeah. Yes, we're feeling very prideful, very happy, very gay. Trying to get into some things. Um, this week was pretty good. I got to head down to VA, spent some time with my brother and my nephews. And I think my brother is the coolest thing since sliced bread. So he's always teaching me shit. Like he was helping me like smartify the house because he has his house like it's like a smart house, but he
Uh,
installs everything himself and sets it up and set up all the cameras and stuff. So he inspired me. So I came back home and I'm trying to smartify the house here. And then I did that I started doing it to the one down in VA. But yeah, had a good time down there, spending time with them. Work is work. You know what I mean. Just been trying to keep my job and do what I'm getting paid to do. Had to go into the office today, which was it's I don't know, it's a little causes a little anxiety now because I've
mm,
been working from home so much. Like even though it's not a full office, just going in, finding parking, walking, being in the office with my mask on all day, all that shit is just like I don't know, it had my nerves shot a little bit, but
I think a lot of people are going to go through that, not just only going into the workplace, but just out in general. Because like for
mhm.
a year and a half now, we've all kind of been like hermited.
Yeah.
Well, some of us, those of us that adhere to the
The
recommendations,
restrictions, yeah.
yeah, are gonna feel that a little bit more because some of us are already were socially
Mhm.
anxious or anxious like that
Yep.
before even the pandemic. So then now you really haven't had to deal with people. So you're either gonna
I
become even
know.
more hermited or you about
Yeah,
to
it's
yeah
it's not my favorite thing because I already don't like people as it is. So
yeah yeah. It's definitely a interesting thing that's about to happen. You know, like I'm glad that mental health is becoming even more to the forefront because it's going to be needed now. All these people entering
for
back into
real, I know. I
the
started
world.
looking for niggas need therapy. Always be putting out recommendations. I started looking for somebody close by here because my anxiety last night. I was like so anxious at the fact that I had to like
Go
get into a
off.
different routine. Like I had to make sure I
Yeah.
got up in time to work out. I felt like a bad mother because I forgot to feed my fish before I left the house. Because I'm usually home, so I just
Right.
so I just feed them when I'm here, and then I'm like, damn, the fish has been fed all day, like
Oh,
I
poor
know he
Blue
wasn't,
over there
gonna
starving.
die, but still, I know. I came home and he was just sitting there looking at me like, yeah. So, but I don't know
Like you
what you've been
forgot
up to.
something.
How's life? Yeah.
Life has been good, man. Steadily making progress. On all my little projects around the house and accomplishing good things at work. Work actually for Pride had a virtual Pride event
Oh, that's
today.
cool.
Yeah, um, with drag queen and everything. So it
Oh
was interesting.
wow.
There was it was a couple hundred people there at the virtual event, and we played games and just that togetherness that Pride gives you, even though it was virtual or whatever. And half of us, I mean,
Mhm.
none of us know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, a lot of people are remote,
Mhm.
especially people like me who started during the pandemic. So we'll never see each other face to face more than likely. But it was just good, to be in a
Mhm.
room, quote unquote, with a bunch of other rainbow people, and they answered questions and they gave history on LGBT. So of course they left the stud out. Remember we had we popped one for Stormy de
Oh
Lavere,
yeah. Mhm.
and of course they tried to leave her out when they spoke about Stonewall. Uh,
Oh wow.
yeah, so they always usually only talk about Marsha and Sylvia, and don't mention Stormy so much. But
Mhm.
I did make sure to chat that up. I was like, don't forget
Oh,
about yes. It
that's
wasn't
what's up.
only
Do you
it
do?
wasn't only them exactly. We got a rep for
Yeah.
us studs out there. So yeah, that was a good
Facts.
time. But it was fun. They have a whole month long um like series of things that they do all month
Mm.
long for Pride, and all the company is rocking rainbow backgrounds and stuff, kind of. So it's cool and very inclusive
Oh,
feeling.
that's cool.
Yeah, so a little a little on the lacking melanin side kind of vibes too, but
Oh,
but yeah, I mean such is the world outside
for real.
of what we know. But since we did have some chill time, I'm sure you got a little bit of reading on, and I definitely got my
Yeah.
Netflix on. So let's get into some Netflix picks, bestseller reads, or just some of the new things that please us. We're serving up in this week's Green Peas. So, what are the good reads for us this week?
So I read Bamboozled by Jesus, which is Yvonne Orji's book.
Oh,
Um,
okay. I was like,
from
it sounds
Insecure.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. The book was like it was really good. It was an excellent book. So I got the audio book because she's a comedian also and she was reading it. So I like to listen to books where it's the comedian cuz they give you that extra acting when they read their own book. It wasn't too churchy cuz it's she's a Christian and she doesn't hide the fact that she's a Christian. But and obviously the book is called Bamboozled by Jesus. So she does her references to like stories in the Bible, but she does them like she's talking about her homies, you know what I mean? So it's not like she's preaching to you. She's just like, yeah, so this girl got fooled by so and so and blah blah blah. So it was really good though. But overall, it's more like a I don't want to call it an inspirational book, but it's like it's kind of like an inspirational book, just to kind of to say that. I don't know what else to call it, but it's not like your average book. She's just basically telling her story and how she kept her faith in herself and in what she wanted to do and stuck with it and it worked out. So that I listened to it and then I ended up listening to it again today when I was at work just to kind of get keep me going through the day. Like it's one of those kind of good books. So I definitely recommend that one. And then I also read a book called Blackmail My Love, which it's kind of like based maybe like in the 1940s or something like that,
Mm,
and it's like a detective kind of book. And I usually
mm.
don't read books like that, but this one caught me because it tells a story of like LGBTQ plus people. So the girl's brother goes missing and he used to be a cop, and she goes to kind of look for him, and then she finds out like where he was, like he was gay, and then she starts kind of coming into her own and realizing that she likes to dress masculine. And it was a really good book, because it takes place back in that time where you weren't allowed to be who you wanted to be. Like, so all the people were being blackmailed because they were gay or they were lesbians. So it was
That's
an
crazy,
interesting
right?
book.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine living in a time where I couldn't be
Right.
me. You know what I'm saying? Like, dress how
Right.
I like to dress, or like having to wear a skirt or a dress, or like
Facts.
not being able to wear pants. Like, even straight women for a period of time weren't able to wear
Yeah.
pants. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
it's just
it was so crazy because like characters in the book were actually killing themselves because they were so terrified that the person that was blackmailing them would expose them. And it's just like that wasn't that long ago, when you
yeah,
think about it. Like,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's wild.
crazy.
Yep.
Um,
What you been watching?
well, finally got to watch and experience Rafiki, which we
Oh,
spoke
okay.
about the actress who was in that movie when we did our movie episode. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I finally actually got to watch the film, and it was good. I mean, considering it's an African like independent film.
Mm-hmm.
The storyline, everything was clear. It was good. It was not like we didn't fall asleep on it. We watched the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing. Nikki swears it wasn't LGBTQ plus, but it was. I mean, it was. It was a story about two girls that one was obviously a masculine woman. You know what I'm saying? It was
Mm-hmm.
obvious, even though her mama kept trying to marry her off, and
Mm-hmm.
they were doing their things. And
Yeah.
but I don't want to spoil the movie, but it was pretty good. I recommend it. It was on HBO Max or Amazon Prime. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was in the Black Voices section, not in LGBT. But that was,
Okay.
I mean, that was a good one. Um, Also, we were in gay mode because it's Pride Month, so when we started watching movies, like almost everything was gay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we watched the Sam J has a show.
Oh, it's out already.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
yeah.
It wasn't that great.
I mean, couldn't make it through. I don't know. I'll try to watch it again. To be honest with you, it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. So I think when I
Okay.
started seeing what I was seeing, I was like, eh, eh,
Mm.
right? Like, and Nikki just was like, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. But
Yeah.
it just, I don't know. It wasn't what I was expecting. So maybe I need to like see what she has to say about the show and come at it from a different perspective. Because I
Gotcha.
want to support. You know what I'm saying, especially our own. So,
Right.
but yeah. So let's get into what we got stirring up in the pot this week. It seems like it's a musical week for us since we're linking up with Chaos the Rapper from Yo LGBT
Yeah.
Raps for a nice little stud filled conversation. And plus, it's Pride Month right now. So I was getting into a little like LGBT rapper singer kind of group today in my playlist. And
Okay.
I tried to make a playlist that was just like LGBT rappers. And
Okay.
I wanted to stick with to women lesbian rappers then.
Gotcha.
And the list was short, bro. Like it was way too short. So I don't know. What do you think? Like my list was Young Ma, Saya, Tish Hyman, and Sid. That's who I had. Um,
Oh wow.
yeah, and Sid isn't really like a rapper like that, but I do enjoy Sid.
Yeah.
Sid the Kid from the internet. So I don't know. But right now I have to say that Young Ma probably was uh the
The
first one to come
majority
to
of you.
mind, especially. Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
too. And she was the first one to come to mind because of her most recent project, which is actually very good. I mean, I don't. Have you had a chance to hear her latest album?
N- no, I have. I've only listened to like the successful joint. I haven't really listened to it. I've been slacking on my music, but Young M.A. Hasn't disappointed in the past. I'll probably play that this weekend while we're on our way to some Pride events that that we're gonna partake in. What was your take on the album?
I thought it was good. It was very well done. The beats were nice. She had a variety of beats. There was like a drill beat on there. Her flows,
Okay.
but I pretty much like a lot of her projects. I remember seeing her like coming up from the early days, seeing her on flyers where she was gonna do like events, like Pride events
Yeah.
and things like that.
Mhm.
Um, So I didn't at that time. Maybe I was more thinking that Saya would be where she is now, where Young and
Mhm.
May is now.
Yeah.
Just because of the buzz that was around Saya and stuff like that at the time. But yeah, I mean, she's
Yeah, I
doing
fucks
her
with
thing.
Saya.
Yeah, I mean, and I
Yeah. Well,
forgot how
both of
much
them because they're from New York.
I forgot how much I fucked with Saya until I had her in this playlist because she's not.
Mm.
Um, I mean, she's just not somebody that I automatically think of when I think of putting together a playlist. But most of the
Right.
time, my playlists are like old '90s hip hop and
Yeah.
R&B.
Yep.
So I mean, that's why. But when I put the playlist together and her album came up, um, it was I was like, yeah, I forgot how nice she was. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
why she would host events and it would be a nice little vibe when
Yeah.
she would be there. Yeah.
Yeah, I fucks with
Have you?
her. I follow her, so I like she's been doing like a lot of freestyles and stuff lately, and
Mhm.
like to me, every one of them has been a banger. Like, just why hasn't she really blown up yet? But
I
we
know that's
know.
what, well, yeah, politics and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes it'll lead you to believe maybe that person isn't so nice, especially if you haven't listened to them in a
Mhm.
while. But listening to the album that popped up in my playlist, I was like, yo, she's nice. So I can see why
Mhm.
she's still around. She's still relevant.
Right.
Um, but uh, like I said, I just really thought like she would be where Young M A is right now. At least where I think Young M A has risen to, from where I
Yeah.
remember seeing her on flyers for gay
For
events.
pride. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Facts.
Um, behind the scenes person is Jizzle. She does more like I know she works with Diddy a lot, but I think she does like a lot of behind the scenes reference tracks
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, does
I've never
production and things
listened
like
to
that.
any of her stuff.
She's
I have to look
on
it up.
one. She's actually on a song with Diddy, or she has a song that's with Diddy. I don't know if she has a whole
Mhm.
album. I just um know that she is in that world, and she's one of us. You know what I'm saying? Like a proud one
Right.
of us. I follow her on social media, so that's it's not an easy world to be in to be a female, and then
Yeah,
it's a
and then
very
be
male dominated.
one of
Uh,
us.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, and then music wise, I mean, not rapper specific, but Tish Hyman, she's pretty nice.
Mhm.
I don't know if she categorizes as a rapper per se because she sings and she's pretty good. Are you familiar with her?
Yeah, I've heard some of her stuff actually because you and Nikki put me onto her.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah.
you know what put me onto her was she actually, and I don't remember if I might have said this before, but her first time performing ever in a live in front of a live audience like that, like on a
Mhm.
big scale live audience, was for opening for Jill Scott, and we were at that
Mhm.
show. She did it at the Hard Rock in I want to say in Hollywood, but what I mean, the Guitar Hard
Yeah.
Rock now, and it
Yeah.
is Hollywood, but
It's
it's
Hollywood. It's
Hollywood,
Hollywood,
Florida.
Florida.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know what you mean.
So yeah, and that was her first time ever performing in front of a crowd like that. So ever since then, I've been following her career. So
Mm.
I think she has a nice voice. I like that raspy. It reminds me of like a young Lauren Hill, um,
Mm. Yeah.
old school like raspiness. I like that. And then of course you got Kalani, who I mean,
We'll
she's
take her.
just an interesting. Yeah. Welcome to
We
the
got
family.
Kalani. Yeah. We got
Yeah.
Lady Luck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's New Jersey right there. She been around for a minute. I don't know. I don't think she had been out her whole career though, but Luck has been killing freestyle since I was in since I was a teenager. I feel like.
I think she's like the brat, right? Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
always kind of
yeah.
been a thing that people know, but you just never
Yeah.
really
When
said
you know, you
anything.
know.
Right. I
Yep.
like, but obviously the brat is. I mean, she's out and
Yeah.
about with it now.
Yep.
Well,
And
big
Queen.
old Booty and Judy will do that. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man.
and Queen Latifah. I
Big booty
mean,
Judy.
yeah. And Queen Latifah is just like the OG of it all, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I mean,
They just came
I've
from a different time, but they kind of paved the way. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and they just not an openly
yeah,
paved road, an openly
yeah,
paved road.
because they might not have been able to at that time, but
No,
we'll take it.
obviously,
Yeah.
yeah, hell yeah, I'm here for it. But that is like the icon of icon. I remember when I met Queen Latifah, and I would turned into the biggest
Damn, for real.
the biggest idiot. Okay, yes, and I mean, obviously, you've seen me be around celebrities, unless it's like Dwayne Wade or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. Okay. But let's think about how much money I've spent on Dwayne Wade memorabilia and
Right.
things. Okay. That's like my guy right there. So, anyway, like Jay Z, I would probably, I don't even know. And I don't know. But this guy, I forgot who I was talking about. Oh, Queen Latifah.
Queen. Yeah.
I started thinking about Dwayne. How gay is that? Queen Latifah, yeah, it was after a concert, and I was so young. This is how my mom needed to stop and get gas, and I think it was the Lilith Fair. You want to talk about being gay
Mm.
as fuck? I only wanted to go to the Lilith Fair because they said it was the lesbian, the
Oh
lesbian fest.
damn.
Yes, and I just miss Missy. Like she came. They
Oh
did. They
damn.
did West Palm Beach, where we went to go see Wayne and Rick Ross, Ti, and all that. Um,
Oh yeah.
they did. They did Little Fair there, and they had come twice. They did the first show there, and Missy was part of the entourage of artists. And then when they came back again, Queen Latifah had taken her place. I mean, I couldn't have lost
Oh
either
okay.
way, but
Yeah.
I got to see Queen Latifah instead of Missy. I was always a big Queen Latifah fan, but at that point in time in my life, like Missy was everything. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So anyway, Queen Latifah's there, and I just remember she had on the DuPont jacket. I think I thought about this before, and then I walked into the gas station to get to pay for my mom's shit gas, and
Mhm.
she was there back when you had to walk inside and actually pay with
Yeah.
cash.
Damn.
I was like,
Teach
that's gonna
yourself,
sound crazy
culture.
to me. Yeah.
There
Anyway,
was a time.
she was inside, and I'm just like, "Do you know who you are?" And she's looking at me like, "You are
Like
crazy. Get away from
she's
me.
like, I am.
Where's security?"
Oh
uh,
man.
Look at this little dyking training over here.
Damn.
ah, fuck.
Let's get wild.
It's a wild world we live in. Don't believe us? You obviously haven't spent any time on the internet. What's even more scary are some of the questions we come across from others seeking advice. Luckily for them, we're here to be their guides. This week's question is.
All right. So I saw this question on the gram or Twitter. I don't know, but it goes. My partner has been emotionally and physically abusive to me in our marriage. I recently just found out she had been talking all kinds of shit to her family about me and allowing them to talk shit about my kids. They don't know she does this to me based off of what my partner has told them. They've called me crazy, toxic, abusive, and that my partner needs to leave me. My partner is like Jekyll and Hyde, and no one outside our home knows this. I'm not in a situation to just leave. What should I do?
Hmm.
Leave.
I mean, that's your only choice, really, because you said
Yeah.
abusive. Like, it's not even just about the talking shit, which is which is fucked
Yeah,
up.
that's fucked up, but she's
But you said
emotionally and
abusive.
physically abusive. And
Yes.
you have kids?
Even more so because you have kids, you need to do it for
Right.
them. Like,
Right.
you got to show them that that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they look,
Mm-hmm.
kids absorb that shit, I feel like. And that's why all of us have some kind of fucking mental health issue now, because our parents didn't deal with
Facts.
their own shit because it wasn't acceptable. I'm not blaming our parents, I'm just saying what it is. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And every generation seems to be evolving better, because I feel like my grandparents were raised harder, and they,
Mm-hmm.
it just got softer and softer. Now these kids these days, they crazy, but you
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I say you gotta save your money and
Yeah.
do
Start
what you gotta
stacking your
do.
coins.
Yeah,
Maybe
and you
call
gotta get
the
out there.
domestic violence hotline and see how they can help you.
There's places that will help you,
Yeah.
especially LGBT. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
There's
thing.
resources out there. Google, Google will help you. I don't know how, crazy it is, but you can try to call maybe if you don't want her to check your search history or whatnot. But you
Or
have to
find
go.
or make up an excuse to go to an office in person. I mean, I know that sounds crazy
Right.
right now in COVID times, but the world is opening back up, so your chance to
Mm-hmm.
escape and get to the life you deserve, which is better than being abused physically and mentally,
Facts.
is upon you. But you got to take it. It can't just be there, and you're sitting over here like, oh my god, I'm being beat up, and the resources there, and you
Yeah.
don't do your part. You always
Yeah,
got to
you
put
gotta
your part in.
facts. You gotta utilize your resources. And you gotta make a choice. You know what I mean?
Make wise decisions. We
Facts.
are the sum of our choices.
That part.
And on that note, we're going to end the show here. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Two Studs in a Pod. And on our individual pages on Instagram and Twitter. For Meech, it's at the Homie Meech on Instagram. And at Homie Meech on Twitter. For myself, it's at its.me.blaze on Instagram. And it's meblaze2 on Twitter. Don't forget to check out our site, twostudsinapod.com, where you can find our latest episodes and more. And for our voyeur peeps, check out our YouTube channel for our animated podcast every Thursday. You can catch us on podcast platforms everywhere, including iHeart. Gratitude is always the attitude, so we want to say thank you for lending us your ear.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. We out. We really out. We out. 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 Out.